Okay, I think I might be recording. I've got on noise canceling, but you can probably hear that motorcycle. So I've been playing with this new equipment, James. This is iPhone, my old reliable iPhone 13 mini. I got a miniature microphone because I'd like to be able to record nature sounds when I'm traveling. And I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel. The thought for the channel has come from traveling and meeting lots of people and having rich, meaningful conversations. And I've met a number of digital nomads who are kind of disappointed that their life isn't fulfilling, even though they're making lots of money. And I meet people that are searching for, they left a life behind that was work and struggle and effort. And so I've had a ton of conversations with people about options and possibilities. And sometimes they look at me like I'm from a strange planet. Like, you say, what? Because I express to them how I live and what I focus on and what's meaningful and important to me. And it started out as a joke a long time ago, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, that I remember meeting a couple before COVID in the Yucatan. And Alan was so curious. He just kept asking questions. The challenge he had was he's so mental, trying to calculate and figure out and understand everything, which is one of the biggest barriers to people being able to change. And so I was explaining to him something. He looked at me like, how do you do that? And I'm like, Alan, all I can tell you is that's the way things work on Planet Larry. It's my world. I choose my beliefs. I choose my values. I choose the things I want to focus on. I pay attention to what matters to me. I look for things that I enjoy and have fun with, and I do those more often. And no matter what, I try to be a kind person. And so what's happened out of that is I keep having those conversations. So I started having the idea of creating a YouTube channel, just basically called Planet Larry. And my idea is to have short videos, 10, 12, 15 minutes with different topics and different pieces, different ideas that have come in. So one of them occurred to me after I wrote to you this morning. I remember hearing Wayne Dyer 30 years ago, maybe more. He made a comment that 75 to 80% of our society is more externally oriented than internal. And it really struck me. I've never even thought of that before. And what struck me was, which one am I? And one of the ways he went on to describe that is that an externally oriented person operates from a belief that your opinion of me is more important than my opinion of me, and I need to do whatever I can to fit in with the good opinion of other people. And there's no shortage of other opinions. Everybody has ideas of what you would be good at, what you should do, what you ought to do. Have you ever thought about this? And there's a real shortage of people who have the ability to go inside and go, well, interesting transition. What inspires you the most? And what skills do you use when you feel most alive? I remember meeting a couple in a hostel down in Mexico. And I was checking into the hostel, and this young woman was working behind the counter. And she made a comment to me, and I said, so they were from Argentina, and she and her partner had left their life, and they were trying to create this world of freedom and travel and what have you. And then she started crying because she was just so frustrated that they weren't being able to do what they'd done. And I just made a comment to her. I was like, well, you sound pretty clear. And through her tears, she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, here's what you just told me. You value freedom. You want your flexibility. You want to travel. You want to explore. You want to experiment in the world. You want to have a variety of new experiences. You love being with your partner and experiencing this together. And part of her upset was she's gotten so focused on what wasn't working that she completely forgot what was. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm playing with. So it occurred to me after I wrote to you this morning that I'm one of those people that I've never really followed the opinion of other people. And I've had this reference point, some of it I was born with, some of it I got through practicing meditation, mental training for athletics, different martial arts and Aikido and energy, Qigong, Yin Qiao, different exercises. So, it's an interesting challenge for me to be in the world where you want to fit in with other people, but my God, I don't want to talk about weather anymore, and I don't want to talk about potholes, and I don't want to talk about drivel. I like to talk about things that are meaningful and inspiring. So this is my very first effort of putting together a video like this, and you're my audience. So I'm sitting on my patio. The wind's blowing, so this might be a little bit windy. But essentially, I'm testing the iPhone with my new tripod and my new little trusty Lark 2 microphone. And hopefully this has come through okay. So I'm going to shut it off now. It's got a little remote control, and I could not get it to work earlier. And you know, the funny thing about these is if you don't turn them on, they don't do anything. So, ciao. I'll talk to you later.